right, now we're going live. It's 6:14 together.
We don't have an agenda for this budget meeting, do we?
No, she just put it at the top of this one.
Okay. Oh, I see it.
Are we live yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Maybe lower the voice.
I'd like to call this public hearing for the 2022 budget to order at June 15th, 2021 at 6:15. Do we have anyone in the audience that has any questions on the budget? Anyone on Zoom that has a question on the budget?
Did you want me to do a roll call? So you can excuse Scott. Tammy?
Oh, I was
Here.
Marty?
Here.
Ben?
Here,
Heather? Here. Scott is not here.
motion to excuse Scott.
Second.
Aye.
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 Does anyone on council have anything that they would like to discuss for maybe amendments to the budget when we open the meeting? Or when we get to that legislation, I should say.
No, I don't. We change it all through the year anyway if we need to, so I don't have
Jenny, did all those things get fixed that we talked about last time? And
Yes.
it. Yes, it did.
Except at the top, it still says 2021 and 2021 on like page 5.
I thought I fixed, I fixed everybody's except yours and Ben's because you took them with you. So everybody else should be right.
And the one column should say appropriated and the other column should say proposed.
No, because it's revenues.
Oh.
It's the revenue page.
Okay.
You're using correctly the chat with the email.
Yes.
Okay. Right, that-
I do have a question on page 5 where it has municipal income taxes. And for 2021, we had proposed 685,000. And I think I recall you saying, Jenny, that you were estimating low because of the license fee taxes and the different things that were so low.
No, those wouldn't have anything to do with this. Those would be in the street fund.
Well, is there any way that we can up that to 685 for 2022? So that we're not so far in the hole?
I think the reason why I went with that number is because our actual in 2020 was so much lower.
And what happened?
Well, 2020, Manline had all those temporary shutdowns and
Right, but no. Right, right, with everybody going back up, we should have it.
yeah, we could. We could.
So
It
you're
just-
going up, what you going to subtract it from?
Well, she's
I
just,
got- I
this
see.
is revenues, Ben, so she's gonna up the estimated revenues from
Just
Ben.
up, just up.
Up it,
You
yeah.
ain't got to take it from nowhere else.
Right, right. And then that'll make this 2,000, 1,000, 2,116 instead of 12,000.
That's fine with
So you
me.
want 2022 proposed municipal income tax to 685,000.
Right.
And that would take the negative 12,000 down to just 2,000, negative 2,000.
And then on page 6, excuse me, under street revenues, because we know people are gonna have to start getting their license plates after July 31st, I think it is, or July 1st, I'm not sure the date exactly. Can we up that one to 85,000 in revenues? And take that expense up?
I would think we could.
Well, I mean, in 2019, we had 93, why wouldn't it be close to that?
Well, and that's what I'm saying, instead of leaving it at 75, let's at least raise it to 85, and that takes it out of the red, per se.
And we can increase it throughout the year. Once it looks like we're gonna meet our goal, then we can increase it.
Right,
So if we take it up 10, now we're positive 8,000, instead of positive negative 2.
right,
That looks better, right?
right. We want to, I mean, it's just thought, you guys, if somebody wants to make that motion during the council meeting. Page 5 and page 6.
How is that gonna impact exhibit A, which is just the first few pages?
It won't, because those are just appropriations. I mean, that,
Because all that other stuff kind of like worksheet. I would normally upload
Yeah.
that to the website, so these numbers, all these numbers here, budget, and then we just not,
yeah, that doesn't reflect any revenues on that.
not even. if the
Oh,
bottom of the
wait a
second
minute. Yeah,
page.
on the next page it does. On the last page of exhibit A, it does.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's gonna change. Yeah. Sure.
I don't need that. Oh.
Linda, did you have any questions on the 2022 budget? Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna mark Scott as in attendance.
Yeah, motion to change it from not being here to here.
6 is top,
It was 6:15
6:15 start.
with a different slide.
Now, do we wait just until 6:30 and close this hearing and then redo it? Or,
You can adjourn it anytime you want to.
There's no comment on the internet. There doesn't appear to be any comment from the audience. So if you want to adjourn the public hearing and take a 7-minute break, that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll go puff on my pipe.
okay, could I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing on the budget at, it looks like it says 6:23?
How much?
Second. Hi. I'm gonna go take a puff. Y'all don't go anywhere.
Have one. too.
Bye.
Okay, remember your phone to get back in.
Oh, my God.
Stick something in the door.
Then if you don't want your door closed, then you can still get back in. Just don't let it slam, just hold it.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I have a solution for that problem. I'm just gonna issue
Uh-huh.
everybody in council their own individual. That way, if we move forward, if things change, I don't have to disable one rather than change it and then let
Everybody.
everybody know what the new one is. So I will assign each member of council their own access code. And I will send an email to them individually with their code. And then I think that's going to fix that problem. It's not that hard. We have enough room in the memory to be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed simpler at the time, so,
It was simpler at the time, correct, when we were setting that up just for council to have one, but now that we're getting more into this and things like this happen, so I'm just gonna do it the other way and, like I said, I'll issue them their 4-digit codes and I'll get it to them individually.
and for when we have public meetings, maybe we'll have to buy one of those little door jam things or something, so the door doesn't close all the way or something.
I think I'm just gonna have Dave put it, or get through Mary Ann, put one of those door stops, those flip down ones. And then we can just flip it down and, because we don't want that door open too wide with rain and snow and winter and stuff, but we'll just flip that down. It'll hold that door. And then when the last one's out, they just flip it up and then the door will latch.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it worked at our last public meeting, that magnet thing stuck on there, that I had to pull it off, but today I couldn't get it to stick.
Now, that was actually an Alice concept we use at the schools. For the elementary, we have those on there to where the doors are always locked and they're open and closed. And then during an Alice drill, if they feel that there's a threat, they just take and remove those magnets and then the door's already locked. They don't have to go out the outside because all those doors lock from the outside. And then it was a security thing. So I just brought that concept here.
Here, Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was my wife's 60th birthday. My daughter's.
That's quick.
Yeah. I put the mask box in the door.
I wasn't even so we went to one class to do it. It was, we had a class that was 6 months there. I had a
Was Joe off on vacation time?
No. Non-voting members can zoom in. That's what you guys had decided at the last meeting.
I knew it was coming, so it's all right.
Yeah,
You know,
Well, there's less of us in here.
I'll keep my ears open, but I haven't heard the rooster.
So I can spread out more.
Yeah, so Gene Arders will zoom in instead of coming in.
I thought Zooming was nice. All I had to do was get up out of my chair in the living room and walk to the dining room and sit down. That was right nice.
Yeah, I had at least cooked dinner before.
Yeah.
Jean's got your headphones.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gene.
I was actually going to come today so I can meet everybody in person, but I'm still working on a subdivision design. So I'm like, I'm going to cheat and just do the online.
That's okay.
It feels weird not to see everybody's screen and everybody's face. Now everybody's so far away.
That's a good thing.
We all look better this way. And now Michelle's not on camera.
And you're not videotaping. Have the right name up there. I said it's a good thing you're not videotaping this because the wrong name up there.
He just hasn't flagged out screen, but he's there. He just took his picture off because he's probably.
Yeah, I know, but the guy with the picture on it doesn't,
That's
never,
Gene.
I know who it is. Didn't flash his name up there.
His name's up there. It's really small, but it's up there.
Yeah, and the Chiefs goes down in the corner when he was
It's
on.
right underneath, but it's just so small.
It's down where he's got himself muted.
Oh, well, it's 'cause they can't recognize me either.
So I think if he turned off his video, he would just say his name like Joe does.
Right, there he is.
I had to run an errand and nobody wanted to see that. Actually, I was in the cleaner.
Gene, can you turn off your video for a second so that
You know,
Marty can see your
And I
name?
can't read lips when they're not talking.
You talking about me?
Can you
Yes,
just turn your video off for a second so Marty can see how it looks?
Hey, Marty,
Hello.
can you see me?
Well, I
yeah,
could see you and hear you. I just can't read your name. It's so small.
Oh. You forget about me already? You're the
And,
first
and the
person.
name, the name on the screen is the Chiefs, not yours.
Well, no, because that's the Chiefs picture. So the Chiefs
I
doesn't have
barely
the
read
video
it.
on.
Myself.
See, now the Chiefs.
and that's pretty small.
Yeah, it is.
You're muted, Joe.
There's no audio on this.
Chiefs muted.
Did Marty see what he needed to see?
Gene didn't comply.
Gene, turn your video off for 10 seconds and then turn it back on.
There you go. See?
See? Okay,
Thank you.
come on back, Gene.
There you go.
So what happens?
Your name comes on the screen when you stop the video, just your name is on the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's Chief's doing it.
Okay, it's 6:30, everybody. Everybody ready? Like to call this regular council meeting to order on June 15th, 2021 at 6:30 PM. Please put your phones on vibrate. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for my brother Don Havener that passed away this past Friday. Tammy, will you lead us, please?
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Jenny.
Ben,
Here,
Scott,
Here.
Heather,
Here.
Tammy,
Here.
Marty.
here.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask council, since Matt has resigned, if we can go ahead and appoint a new council president, as I will be in and out of state periodically, and until we name someone, it would be better if we had somebody here.
All right, I nominate Tammy.
I beat you to it.
I second it.
All eyes.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Do you accept?
I accept.
So I guess should ask.
And we
you
should have
that.
asked you first. Thank you, Tammy. Thanks, council. Instead of my usual mayor's report this month, I would like to address a couple of issues which have come up in connection with the Portagers reporting of our proposed income tax increase and their public records request, which we received on June 4th. First, regarding what is continually being called a gag order on council, I have to stress that there is not and never has been a gag order on members of council. We do have a policy for employees approved by council, which states the following. All official communication with the news media will be issued by the mayor or his or her designee. When an employee is contacted by the news media, the media person making the contact shall be referred to the mayor or his or her designee. The employee shall not offer comment to the media. In order to promote consistency and avoid ambiguity, I have encouraged our other elected officials of this village to refer media contact to me in keeping with this policy. However, an elected official could not be reprimanded, disciplined, or suffer other consequences if they make a statement to the media. I'll be the first to acknowledge that elected officials at this table don't always agree on important issues facing our village. And so there may very well be times when they feel that their individual viewpoint is important in order for the public to fully be informed. There is no gag order or any other mandate preventing this. I hope that this has cleared up any misunderstanding on this issue. Second, the public records request made by Lindsay Brennan of the Portager includes a request for, and I'm quoting this, any and all documentation regarding an investigation of Mayor Linda Clark by the Portage County Prosecutor's Office from January 1st, 2019. This also needs clarification. In January of 2020, former employee Chelsea Greger made a complaint against me alleging that I was harassing her. This complaint was submitted to then Council President Bob Gaglione pursuant to Mantua Employee Manual Section 8.2, which states that all complaints will be investigated. Because we are a small village, and it would have been very difficult to have our own personnel conducting an investigation that we could be confident was impartial and unbiased, our solicitor recommended that we needed to find someone from outside Mantua who didn't have any parties, who didn't know any of the parties involved to conduct the investigation. Ultimately, she reached out to Portage County Prosecutor Vic Vigalucci and asked if he would lend us one of his investigators to conduct the Mantua Village investigation, which he very graciously did. So, although the investigation of Ms. Greger's complaint was conducted by a person otherwise employed by Portage County Prosecutor, they did the investigation under the Village of Mantua's own policies and as a special investigator on loan to us in an unusual circumstances. Hopefully, this resolves any remaining confusion on this subject. Also, I felt and still feel that this was an incomplete investigation, as only one side was investigated, the people that the complainant listed. I feel that all the employees of the Village of Mantua and the elected officials should also have been talked to. And I would like to ask council if this may be put in the minutes verbatim by motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Aye.
Can you email me a copy of that?
I certainly will. Thank you. Citizens,
I have no comments.
You want me to go first?
if you have comments,
I do. I actually have questions.
Stand up and give your name.
I'm gonna sit down and it's Linda Schilling. I wanted to know on the thing that you guys want to put on the ballot for the 0.5% or whatever it is for the police department. I always vote for stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. But the question I have is did anyone look into how much it's going to cost the village to the county? Did you, Joe? You might not hear me.
Joe. Joe,
Didn't
can
hear
you
the
hear Linda's
question.
question?
I did not.
And you're muted.
No, I did not hear the question.
That would be awesome. Do you want me to repeat your question? Sure. Go ahead.
Joe, Linda asked if you investigated what it would cost the village to go with the sheriff's office for dispatch.
No, I did not.
Is that something that you're gonna do? Would
Not
it
at
be-
this time. I'm still under contract to dispatch for the fire department through 2022. That was discussed in previous meetings.
But if the levy doesn't pass, so you have no idea how much it's gonna cost the village at all, not even a inkling.
Plus the village for what?
How much it's gonna cost the village to go to the county?
If I
That's not-
understand,
Again, I'll say it again. I am under contract to contract with the Mantua Shalersville Fire Department through December 31st of 2022.
so what he's saying is we can't
We
even
can't
do
do
that
anything
until
until that.
December of 2022.
Well, they can't consider it till then.
Right. How much will we be saving if this levy does not pass? What will we be saving?
We won't be saving anything if
We
it
won't be
doesn't
saving
pass.
anything. The 0.5% is going to generate around $216,000. Garrettsville has opted to go with the county. So this year we're getting $90,000, which we will not get next year.
Is there any way of getting Garrettsville to stay with the village?
We made them a counter offer and they refused.
We made them a counter offer. They took it to their council, and their council pending language approval has opted to go with the county with a 3-year contract.
Okay, another question, and this is coming, some of these are coming from
People
several-
that did want to come. Okay.
several neighbors. If the levy passes, and somewhere down that road that we need to get rid of dispatch, what happens to that money that you guys have collected from the levy?
It still goes to it all goes to the police department.
But are we, so
Even if we're not dispatching, we'll still have police officers.
Oh, I understand that.
Right, so it
I
would just,
understand that, but the money that's coming from the levy is certainly going, is it gonna be still used, is my question for the police department.
Yes.
it's earmarked for the police department.
If I'm not mistaken, that language on the ballot specifically says that it's for the police department. If dispatch goes away, we still have officers, we still have expenses.
Right, okay,
But we'll still have to pay.
right.
We'll have to
The
pay
Still
county.
the
have to pay the county.
Yeah, we'll have to pay the county
Right.
at that point, so.
Are we getting money, tax money from the county for the men that work in the village? That do any work in the village? Do they, just because they have the reservoir and stuff, is that tax money that we get? Because they're working in the village,
Yeah.
basically.
I'll have to look at the Rita website, because I would think so.
You should.
Yeah,
Because there are, I mean, we've had a lot of guys coming in,
Yeah.
sucking out stuff and like that.
Yeah, I'm
And that's
sure,
tax money we could use.
right.
That's correct.
I'm sure they are.
I don't mean to stir any
No.
pots, I'm
No,
just,
No,
you know,
you should.
No, that's
it's
a
just stuff that
legitimate
I've
question.
seen,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Good point.
But the county owns some sewer lines that they still have them,
The,
so I don't know if we'll
well,
get
Joe
it.
might, I don't know if Joe know, but the siren up on top of Reservoir does not work.
The county has been made aware of that.
But it's
I-
not for the, it's not the county, that's the one if a hurricane and stuff comes. The one that's at the top does not work.
Oh, that one hasn't worked for a long time. Joe,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
It did work a couple years ago.
Go ahead, Joe.
I've
Chief.
spoken with Chief Rosa and I went up to the reservoir because we both felt that we thought we had radio equipment in there. And at that time, I asked him about that tower at the top of reservoir, and he does not have any intention in the future put any money into getting that siren to work. He said that that siren is, there's a board or something wrong with it, and there is no plans to restore that. I asked that specific question.
Okay. I have a couple more, but I'm just going with the one. When, and it's not against you, believe me, it's not. The contract that we had with Jenny, you guys still have, because she still works here. The contract that she has, 6,000 of that money was earmarked for taxes. Is that money going to the new people now that do our taxes, or is Jenny still getting that 6,000? So that would decrease her pay, her lump sum.
You can't change her salary from the time she gets elected to the next time.
I'm still getting my full salary, but I assumed all the responsibilities of my assistant that was at 20,000 a year.
But you still had that 6,000 that went into your contract.
It was just part of the salary as
Okay.
one of the duties. Like there's a lot of different duties that are involved in my job, and that was part of it.
You
But
can't
that
change.
6,000
I
was from,
understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. I know you can't touch her contract. I know.
and it doesn't say anywhere in the codified that 6,000 is for income tax. I think just a long, long time ago, when Betsy assumed those responsibilities, they bumped her pay up by 6,000. But there's nothing that specifies that 6,000 of my pay is for tax. Is there, Michelle?
I've never seen anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
No more questions at this time?
No, not this time.
Okay, thank you. Jenny, financial reports?
We received our annual report from Rita, and if you add all the tax that they collected last year and then subtract the percentage that we paid them for collecting, we came out almost exactly the same as we did in 2019 when we did our own collections. The percentage that we paid them ended up being 2.2%. Like when we talked with Rita, they said it could be around 3%, but ended up being 2.2, which is good. So it'll change every year.
Right, but that's pretty good considering
Yeah.
that we're about the same when you consider we had the COVID last year.
Right.
So,
Right. So I'm hoping we'll do a lot better next
Yes.
year. And I was going to say, I think that it could be because of loss of employment or temporary shutdowns. So I think this year we'll see an increase. All of our funds are stable. Revenues totaled about 116,260. More than half of that money was income tax, and expenses, including payroll, came to 130,664. That's kind of high, but we paid for Woodford Excavating, 34,000 for West Prospect, Meyer Design, which was playground fabric mulch. I guess
No.
you're-
Fabric that goes, landscaping fabric that goes under the mulch, and then playground mulch, which is special mulch.
Right, and then 7,200 to the county for that voided check from last year. So we're upside down again this month, but I think we're gonna make it up later.
well, we'll be submitting for reimbursement
Yeah.
on that mulch.
Right, yeah, we'll get that back.
So,
For the revenue and appropriation status reports, we're still slightly under on revenues. We should be at about 42%, and we are not. Revenues are low at 35% right now, and some of that is still license tax. I hope we get a surge in August for all the people that delayed getting plates until the July extension ended. Appropriations are really good at 39%. There was one adjustment on the bank reconciliation. It was that voided check that we talked about last month. Since it was issued in 2020, it shows up as a fund adjustment, and that was $7,200. Checks 46504 and 46544 were written in May. And that's all I have, unless anybody has questions.
motion to approve the financial reports?
So moved.
Second.
Heather? Marty?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Tammy? Scott?
Aye.
Any correspondence?
I don't have any.
I don't either. So we'll move on to the bills of resolution and addendum bills of resolution. Any discussion? Pardon me.
We are going to have a couple of changes. We have one thing in the Middlefield Visa that we weren't exactly sure what fund it's going to go to. I put it under Parks because, oh, it is going to Parks. Okay. So that one's okay. And the only other thing is on the addendum list on Right Express for the service department. Mary Ann didn't get a chance to see that bill yet, so I just kind of split it evenly between parks, tree care and streets, but that's probably going to get reallocated. But I wanted to get it on here so we could get it paid. The amount won't change.
Any other discussion? Motion to approve the bills of resolution and addendum bills of
So
resolution.
moved.
Second.
Heather,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Ben, Marty.
Aye.
Okay. Motion to accept the minutes from the May 18th budget workshop meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Ben, Scott,
Aye.
Heather,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Marty.
Aye.
Motion to approve the May 18th regular council meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Marty,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Heather,
Aye.
Ben, Scott.
Aye.
Motion to approve the May 27th, 2021 special council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Ben,
Aye.
Marty,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Heather.
Aye.
It's good not to have that dead spot when somebody's saying aye on the computer. No lag time.
No lag time. Ordinance 2021-24, an ordinance amending section 331.45 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Mantua related to distracted driving and declare an emergency. This is the third reading. Any discussion?
I have discussion. I'm glad we went 30 readings on this because since we started this, I've had like 5 pre-trials on this at court and little issues keep coming up where we can tighten this up a little more. So I know we've amended it at least once. I have one more amendment. I'm going to try to share my screen so you guys can see it rather than try to read it to you. It will be on subsection 331.45B. And
You said B?
yeah, so we have A in here that's being amended and B, when this ever comes up. Please come up. Please share. Look at it. Oh, yeah, look, it's over here. This is not what I was hoping to do. Okay, now I'm gonna move this over so you guys can see it. Okay, so subsection
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
I can now, but for some reason, it says I'm the host. We lost Michelle.
Okay, that's what I thought too. It's just you and me. Yeah, the weird thing is this still
Did they go
says,
into I think she bumped executive session or something, maybe.
oh, did she?
I don't know.
I
It
think she
just
was
says it's me and you.
yeah, because it says live streaming service still, like it's recording. She said that she was sharing her screen, which when she did, as soon as it shared, it went silent.
Yeah, all I heard was subsection and then I lost her.
Yeah.
I saw the screen, now I lost the screen and I lost her.
Well, I guess we'll just hold on here and see. Maybe when she stops sharing, it'll jump back over. I'm almost wondering if we should just leave and maybe join back in. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Okay, I'll leave and then come back in.
I mean, for you, you're already done.
No, I didn't give my report.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were talking.
I'm
I
right
forgot.
before you.
Yeah, I know.
Let's leave and come back. If they want us, they'll call us.
Yeah. All right. See you, Joe. I'll try again.
I couldn't leave. It says I'm the host.
Yeah, I'm back on. I mean, I completely left and then clicked the thing, came back in just like normal. So
Does it just show that it's me and you?
yeah. And it still says live on custom live streaming. Meeting is now streaming live on custom live streaming service.
See, I went to X out and it said, as the host, are you sure you want to end the meeting? So I'm
Oh.
afraid if I did that, I'd have did it. So I didn't go anywhere.
Let me call the mayor. See if she answers.
They sent us off in our own little world.
I was just thinking she may be because they have to put their phones to silence. Oh,
I wonder if Michelle accidentally X'd out and left us on when she went to share her screen.
that's a possibility. But yeah, she's not answering. But again, it makes sense because she said to put it to silence.
I'll fix that. I'll have the road officer go up and tell them we're trying to get a hold of them.
Wait a minute. Hey, Mayor. You lost internet there? Oh, okay. Yeah, because the funny thing is, they Joe and I are still on. I left to try to log back in, and Joe didn't leave. Joe's the host right now, and it shows it being live coverage. What when she went and said, here's a legislation, and it popped on her screen. Hey, Joe, just so you know, they lost the internet.
Okay, because the road officer is going up there to tell them that you and I are in our own little world.
Okay, just so you know, he said, because Joe didn't know, he was sending one of his patrol officers up. Okay.
Do they want us just to call in and put us on speaker?
Okay. Okay, because if not, we could also you can call our cell phone and we can oh yeah, good point. Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye. Oop. Sorry about that, Joe. So what's happening was Michelle's trying to figure out how to get it back on. I think you heard I suggested that we could just call in, and she said, well, the problem is that, which is kind of comical because you and I are live. It's recording our thing, but she said it needs. So Michelle's trying to get it so that they can log back in, and I guess take the hosting back from you. They've got their IT coming back up, so temporarily we're on a hold because Michelle needs to
So I
hear.
get to be in charge for a whole 5 minutes and you're my only person that I'm boss over on the hosting the meeting.
Yeah.
So how about those Indians? Oh. Hey, a lot of compliments on Prospect Street, by the way.
Oh, good. Thank you. Nice to hear.
That's looking pretty good down there. So actually we've increased traffic enforcement down there because you know how it is with a newly paved road, turns into a runway. So
Yes. Plus, more people probably want to see what it looks like as well. So
yeah. And you know how you had to modify that a couple feet. I don't even think anybody, unless you would have said something, nobody even knows anything.
that was the hard thing because at the time I was looking at it, I'm like, I came up because again, I didn't do the design. I kind of came in at the end and I'm like, why can't we just move that a little bit? I mean, it's not like it's a freeway or something. And then I was like, gosh, should I let the mayor know and the council? It's like, it's one of those things of normally for most clients, you wouldn't even tell them, but but it was something enough that I felt that it should have been. But I'm glad to hear that.
Hang on, the mayor's calling. Hang on, Gene. I got to have him reboot the access point downstairs. Okay, it's back up downstairs.
So what does that mean? They're back on. There we go.
Mayor, can you hear me?
You're muted, Joe.
Mayor, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you guys now.
All right, hang on.
Joe was in charge. I listened to whatever he said.
I get stiff as a bull sitting here.
Now we can hear you, Joe, you're muted.
I gained a whole lot of respect for Michelle in these Zoom meetings in that short 7 minutes that it was Gene and I.
Well, Chief, Michelle had made an amendment to add,
Wait, we're really not live yet.
oh, we're not live yet, sorry.
He's waiting.
It says live
They
up there.
know, but
That's,
it's mine.
Yeah, I lost her right when she said subsection B.
Oh, God, we didn't even get the motion on.
There, we got a motion on a second.
We said you had to wear short pants.
Just remember what happens in Vegas stays.
Thought we had a question from.
yeah, well, but we have to go back and explain to them what the amendment was first, and then Linda's question.
Well, if they can hear us, they go ahead and tell them.
But Michelle said we're not, you're not.
We're not live yet.
There's no one guy.
Well, I'm alive.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, are we? Okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna share the screen again. Just read it. I'm gonna read it. I don't think that broke the internet, but you never know.
You missed-
Uh-oh.
I missed how
What'd you
it's
do?
What?
Gotta drag it back up.
Joe, can you see us?
Gene, you
Yeah.
still there?
I see it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I can see and hear you.
Okay.
Hang on.
We're having.
I'm gonna full screen that, so.
As long as you can hear us, you're good.
Full screen.
We're gonna touch the machine.
Can I touch it? Can I break it? Alright. Let's see, it's over there. What happened?
You did it again when you double clicked.
Alright,
Once you
I
go-
hate trying to do this over here. My fingers are going the wrong direction. Okay, I'm gonna do this through my email.
Good thing you know what you're doing over there.
Don't.
Worst case, can we table this till next month to have the amendment? in?
Okay, so what I wanted
Worst
to
case.
do, I'm gonna read subsection B of 331:45. No person shall drive a motor vehicle on any street, highway, or property open to the public for vehicular travel while using a mobile communications device to read, send, read, create, play, or interact with internet-based content. I would ask for a motion to add language after that that says, comma, cellular data or global positioning system services.
I've already made the motion to take the amendment. I think it was Randy that seconded it.
I know, but it wasn't broadcast.
Right.
They lost us before. they
Right,
broadcast,
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to be
So,
fully transparent.
Make your motion again.
Yeah,
Motion to do the amendment as Michelle just read.
second,
Heather,
Aye.
Scott,
aye.
Ben,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Marty.
Aye.
Okay, so we've made the amendment and Linda Schilling asked a question.
If the person, do you have to be stopped in Mantua is my question.
No.
If the police
Oh, we
officer,
lost
if
our guys.
they're up there.
Can you hear us? There's frozen. Look at them.
They're both on mute too. There we go.
I can hear
Joe,
you.
can hear?
She froze for a minute, but I did not hear the question.
You can hear us.
Okay. You didn't hear the question. The question is,
Okay, and the reason I know this is because I know the person that actually she got into her car, hooked her phone up to her charger, put it away, got teeth from the
Joe, it went silent again.
wait a minute, okay, wait a minute, let me check.
We see you.
It's raining in Mexico.
Linda, did you want me to ask the question?
All I got was she got in the car and plugged her phone charger in, and then I lost it.
My question is, does the police officer have to see them holding their phone? And then stop them right there? Or can they follow them to Durth's Hill? Because that's what happened.
It depends on each circumstance.
I think what you're asking is where does the offense has to occur in the village limits. A person can commit an offense and not be stopped until they're out of the village limits. The stop doesn't have to occur there. People get stopped like at the fire department all the time. But
did he see her plug it in when she was still parked and then put it away and then just followed her out of Mantua?
If the interaction occurred within the village, you might have been looking for other circumstances, but the Mantua Village Police patrol in the village, the infraction would have had to have occurred within the village. And then depending on the circumstance, they might have been looking for something else as well.
No, they apparently they stopped her for being on her cell phone. So I'm just asking the question. So there is no limit of where the police can stop them.
It'd be, as long as the infraction occurred, like Michelle said, if the infraction occurs within the village, sometimes on a moving vehicle, we may not get them stopped until they're outside the village.
My thing is, I just don't know how you're gonna know if people are actually holding their phone or not.
If we can see it up in their hand and they're holding the phone. That's the whole purpose of this whole ordinance, is to keep their phones out of their hands. There's enough hand-free devices out there and Bluetooth. Basically, we want people to not have interaction with their phone while they're in the village of Mantua.
That's what I'm saying, and I understand that, and I agree, because there's too much stuff going on. But this person did not have her phone in her hand.
Again,
That's her story.
that's her
And-
side
and
of the
again-
story. And if she was given a ticket, then she can take it through the courts. So
She said she's gonna
Yep.
fight it. She'll
then
never
that's all,
fight it.
then that's the resolution to it.
Was the person issued a citation?
Yes.
Okay, then they have a due process through the courts. They can go and plead not guilty, and we will work it out that way. They'll have their day in court, and it'll just have to play itself out.
It's just that people are not gonna come back to that, is my big thing. But she will never come back to any one of these stores in Mantua now. She just won't, because she was not.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is, and you're gonna get it from a lot of people. I mean, I
I
don't use
feel
my phone in
safer.
my car. My phone's in my purse when I drive, so, because I've got a car that talks to me.
Okay.
But we're not the only community. You see those signs when you pull into
Oh,
the
I know.
community saying.
I know.
It's posted, so,
I just didn't know how
Okay,
far
okay.
they can chase, you
they,
know.
okay,
Now
thank
we
you, thank you. Okay. We've amended it, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Motion to approve is amended.
so moved.
Aka,
Marty,
yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Heather,
Aye.
Ben.
Ordinance 2021-25, an ordinance approving and adopting a permanent budget for 2022 for the Village of Mantua after publication and public budget hearing pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 5705.30. This will be the third reading, open for discussion.
We got to do those amendments.
I have, yeah, we've got two changes.
Okay,
Page 5, the municipal income tax for 2022. Can we increase that to what it was proposed for 2021, the 685?
I believe that was.
Yeah. I think that's what you guys
Yes.
want.
Okay.
yes.
And then on page 6, the license tax.
Do you need a motion
Under-
for that?
Do we need a-
No, we can do them all at one time.
Move the license tax up to 85,000.
Yes, that's what the amendment was.
And then Jenny has page,
85, Tammy, is that what you said?
Yes,
Yes.
what it was proposed for.
Oh, for.
Yeah.
Okay. You should-
and also then the changes that Jenny would have to make to Exhibit A.
Motion to amend as stated.
Second.
Heather,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Ben,
Ah.
Tammy,
Aye.
Marty.
Aye.
I couldn't tell which one of you seconded.
We both did. Pick one. We're the same, Scott.
Okay.
Motion to approve is amended.
So moved.
Second.
Ben,
Ah.
Scott,
Aye.
Heather,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Marty.
Yes. Aye.
Moving on to ordinance 2021-26, an ordinance amending section 12103, article 12, section 1A of the Village of Manaway codified ordinances concerning the service committee. Open for discussion. What this is, if I recall, is we have to remove this section that says, what did it say? It had the water and sewer in it, which we no longer have.
Instead we put in storm sewer.
Right. This is first reading. Any discussion on this?
Oh, this is second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the second reading, so this will be the third reading, right?
No, this is the second.
This is the second.
Okay, sorry. Ordinance 2021-27. Should make Tammy read this one. An ordinance providing the submission to the electors of the Village of Manaway at the general election on November 2nd, 2021, a proposed tax ordinance amending section 173.012 of the Village of Manaway codified ordinances. Purpose of the tax rate, so as to increase the rate of the taxation on the income tax from 1 1/2% to 2%. The additional 1/2% to be used only for law enforcement and public safety purposes. I think this is the second reading on this one. Open for discussion.
This says amended?
This was amended last month.
Okay.
I've got
With
nothing.
additional language.
As everyone is aware, I think the chief told us at the safety, or told you guys at the safety meeting, that we sent a letter to Garrettsville and gave them presented to them, excuse me, a proposal of, was it 40 or 42,000, chief?
The counteroffer we offered was a 1-year, 42,000 to continue the same services we currently provide.
And as the chief said during the budget hearing, that they came back and said, no, they were going to sign with the county on a 3-year contract instead of a 1-year?
The way a 3-year contract pending language approval. There was working out some bugs.
Because originally they were only going to get a 1-year contract at that super deal.
That's what I understood. That's why we offered, that's why we countered with a 1-year.
Right.
And then at the council meeting, they came up with a 3-year.
So that everybody understands this, I think we should have some discussion. Only because It's not going to change the dispatching that we do. We are not a 911 dispatch. We are a secondary 911 dispatch. That is a difference. A lot of our residents do call us directly instead of dialing 911. And so that, one of the reasons we feel that the income tax, one of the many reasons that the income tax would be worthwhile is because our residents like having someone that they know where they live. So that, and they have enjoyed and want the 24/7 police protection that we've been providing that we had lost for several years. Chief, what else on this? I know you have a lot more, and my brain is a little on the, not running on all cylinders tonight.
No, there, the article that Portager put out was a little misleading. For some reason, they thought that the $90,000 contract went 100% to police, and I had to explain to the reporter kind of the breakdown and how we operate. But out of that 25%, it's continuous improvements. We upgrade our equipment, purchase vehicles and upgrade radios and everything else we've done. But we talked about at safety where, people want to be able to call and have somebody understand the geographical of our streets, our residents. We know who the neighbors are. We have familiar faces. We have some local residents who are dispatchers. So, to be able to keep it in-house.
And also, if this doesn't pass, we will have to be making some kind of cuts that we'll discuss at that time. So second reading, any council people have any further questions on this piece of legislation?
Could you read it again?
You want me to read the heading again?
Yeah, that was short compared to that one.
Oh, okay. So that was second reading, so we'll have another reading next month. Hopefully, anyone out there watching have questions, give the chief or I a call. We'll try and answer them or come to the meeting and ask the question. That's why we're here. Okay, resolution 2021-28, a resolution requesting and authorizing the Portage County Board of Elections to place upon the Village of Mantua ballot for the general election of November 2nd, 2021, the question of whether ordinance 2021-27, increasing the Village of Mantua income tax to 2% shall be approved in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code section 718.04, and again, this is second reading. Any discussion on this?
Jenny, what does it cost to put this on the ballot?
Around $300.
Is there a cost at a regular general election? I thought we only had cost when it was special election.
Oh, then I don't know.
It might not be anything.
Okay, but
Or it might be
300
300.
enough. Okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah, wouldn't be more than 300.
thank you. That's my only question.
Anybody else have any questions? Two of the Village of Mantua codified ordinances concerning personal information records kept by the Village of Mantua. Open for discussion.
This is just taking our references to the water department and the sewer department. Which we no longer have.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We don't have to make a motion on our first reading.
Unless you want to-
Any discussion on the first reading?
No.
No. Housekeeping. Okay, moving right along. Chief Urso, your report, please.
Okay,
He's frozen.
Can you hear
again.
me?
You're frozen.
all right, you guys froze. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Joe.
They just got booted again.
You're
Oh, they're
back.
back.
Are you back?
All right, we
back.
good?
Connected to the internet. Well, this is a tough one, isn't it?
Can you hear me?
Space and they just gonna call you.
You're all wiggly.
Says your internet connection is unstable.
Gene, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So we can hear you now without any
Oh.
back.
All right, I'll try to talk fast. We had our safety meeting on June 2nd. We started at 6 o'clock. Went over all of our reports. Under old business, we discussed COVID guidelines, the dispatch contract with Garrettsville. Under new business, the dispatch contract update, which we've already discussed. The position of the sergeant's position. Matt was going to be on my interview panel. So I'm going to be looking for a replacement to start the interview process. And then employee status update. We hired a new dispatcher. We had one leave. Nothing was recommended to council, finance, park service, nothing tabled, no executive session. Our next meeting will be on July 7th. We had a motion to adjourn and we ended the meeting at 6 o'clock. The only other thing we discussed was extra patrols at the park to make sure that vandalism stays down. And the soapbox derby is scheduled for this Saturday. That's all that I have, Mayor.
And also there's the rib burn off down at the green space.
Yeah, the green space. That'll be this Saturday as well.
Thank you.
Hey,
Marion,
Joe.
oh, go ahead.
Joe,
Yes,
Joe?
I'm here.
He's asleep.
Go ahead.
safety, did you guys discuss, or is he gonna put on an extra officer for the red burn off and the? Okay.
Yeah.
He can hear us.
I can hear bits and pieces of it.
So that was the. So we're gonna have 2 officers on the
Saturday.
road for this Saturday.
I'm gonna try. They have, the rib burn off had mentioned hiring a security officer for that event. I did not receive a request for that event. And then in the past couple of years for the soapbox derby, the road officer.
Okay.
So yes, we're gonna
I
try to
not
have an
received
extra
that
person.
either.
We lost you guys again.
Let's go. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
Maybe you should have to come.
Mary Ann Fabian, Village Administrator.
The report was in your packet and it's on file. Any questions on that?
I think they got booted again. It's just me and you again.
Yeah, I just saw that. It goes, Joe's now the host. At least you get your
Yeah.
part done.
Yeah, I don't think she's plugged into the network. I think she's trying to do it off of Wi-Fi. And if I'm not mistaken, when they put in that console for council, I think there are computer jacks. I think there was one built in underneath there somewhere. So maybe she'd be better off just to plug into the network. And then that way she's running right downstairs and not trying to do it off of Wi-Fi. Because actually the access port, the access point for that is actually right underneath Michelle. It's right in our, right by our copy machine downstairs.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. You're right below there.
Yeah,
Completely forgot.
yeah, and we've never had an issue like the mayor's on Wi-Fi throughout the day. We don't have issues. and we have the access point. We actually have two networks in the building. We have the police side because of our leads, and we have the other side, and I'm not sure which one Michelle got in on.
Okay,
But-
they're coming back.
Oh, here they come.
I don't know what Joe says up there. I can't read all that.
The meeting is now streaming live on custom live streaming service. That's Michelle putting that.
So Joe's the host again.
I was when you guys get booted, I become the host.
They're talking to each other, probably.
Yeah, when you guys get booted, it's just Dean and I.
Can
I
you
will
hear
tell
us,
you-
Joe?
Yeah. you-
What's that?
Yeah, she's a, well, no, she's a Geauga. She's
Oh, gone.
I'm the host again. If I'm not mistaken, this is the last month for the Zoom. She's back quick.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Can you guys hear us?
I can hear you.
Thumbs up? Nope. We're not on YouTube. You guys are.
I can hear. Can you guys hear us?
Can you hear us, Joe?
Yep.
Gene, can you hear us?
Yes.
Because I thought if they could hear us, they're on YouTube, so it would still be out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that kind of make sense?
Yes. Gene and I have been having our own conversation on YouTube.
We'll be on the national news.
We'll just go to the Ravenna McDonald's. Can you guys hear us? They just got froze again.
They did. Yep.
So when they come back up, they got to go fast, get through these reports. Well, I know it's not my internet because usually Michelle says I was the issue, but I had a router going bad. So they replaced my modem. And then at the same time, I just put in a new router a couple days ago. And since then I've been okay. Well, I'm the host again.
Yeah, they dropped off completely. Yeah, the funny thing is I was gonna go today and I was because especially it was so beautiful outside. I'm like, oh, it'd be a great drive over there and stuff. But then I was like, I'm working on this subdivision. I'm like, I'll do purpose it.
And he froze.
Can you guys hear us?
Yep.
Okay. I guess I'll speak for Gene and I. We missed Mary Ann's report.
Joe, stop talking.
No, you won't.
No, you won't. Gene, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Apparently not.
They're both frozen.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I was gonna ask you
We're-
who does.
Okay, we're good right now, so we're gonna go real quick. Mary Ann, give your thing.
Okay, Heather had a question where I got the water tote. We got that from Sal Chemical for free. And Heather Benjamin delivered it for free.
Nice.
So that was awesome.
Where you got what?
The tote for the pressure washing.
Oh.
So, yeah, any other questions on this?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Removal of the light pole from the time capsule.
Yes.
Are we putting it back on?
Oh, we are putting it back on. We removed it. They
Rewiring it.
renovating it. We're rewiring it. We got an LED light in there and we'll be putting it back up.
One of the reasons I asked is that was a donation from Don Havener, who just recently passed away. So,
Yes, that's definitely going back up and it will be very beautiful.
thank you.
Welcome. I do have a motion
Yeah, boy.
that I'm requesting from council to approve. I got an email this afternoon or this morning. Booker Park River access to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to take routine collections of microinvertebrates that live at the bottom of the river. This is, it's a routine thing. This is, they changed it where now they want a paper trail, and that's the only difference.
So moved.
Second.
Ben, Scott,
Aye.
Heather, Tammy, Marty.
Aye.
And the only other thing I have left is, I put in the packet the presentation for the crack and seal project. Anybody have any questions about that? No? Okay.
Should have
Thank
been
you.
doing it for the past 20 years.
Well,
Yeah.
now we're going to.
James, up.
Gene, you're up.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, ready? So Booker Park Phase 2 construction is
Are
complete.
we still live though, while they're not, or we
We got
don't?
the whirligig going, so I'm not sure.
It shows it on our side. It
Yes,
says,
talk fast.
okay. Construction is complete for Phase 2 Booker Park. Phase 3 Booker Park, we're still, well, the village is awaiting ODNR to issue the contract, which then, once you get that, you can do your approval for CT to do that design. Before I continue, can you guys hear me? Because you're all frozen. Uh-oh. Well, I'm just gonna keep going in case they can hear me. Oh, never mind.
Color, but
Yeah, I think
But I think it looks nice that way.
Yes.
Lighter,
Where-
darker.
Yeah, yeah, it cleans up that area.
Where did I leave off
Jamie,
at?
I can see you.
Where did I leave off at?
tell them when you can go, Michelle.
Everything's frozen.
Hang
You're
on, Jean,
just
she's
moving
frozen.
along.
I can hear her.
Yeah, I can hear her too.
Gene,
Yes? I can hear you. Can you hear me now? I
even
can
if we
see-
do, if we're not zooming it out to YouTube, then we're not doing what we're supposed to do.
Oh, I thought we were.
Mayor, can you hear me?
She said she had the willy gig.
Yeah, it's not.
The weird thing, I can hear you, Joe, and I can see them
We're,
and hear them.
we're streaming, but it's not showing on Michelle's
Barely.
computer that we're streaming. But we've been streaming the whole time.
Every other word.
Yeah, they're froze again.
Yeah,
We've never stopped streaming that I know of,
that's weird.
because Michelle just came back and did the host. She popped back in.
Okay.
Can you guys hear us?
She's not gonna get it to go in.
Oh, wait.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, but we don't know if we're,
We're streaming. We've never stopped streaming on my screen.
Sometimes.
Intermittent.
can you see us?
Yeah, we've never stopped streaming.
Should we all just turn our backs to them so we can't see them?
Can you guys hear me? Or not? Probably not. Joe, I know you can, but
We can, well,
I can, so I'm assuming the public can.
can you hear me, Mayor and Council?
We
Yes.
can At the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna hurry up. So Booker Park Phase 3, we're awaiting the grant agreement from ODNR. Once they issue that grant agreement to the village, then council and the village can authorize CT to begin the design. The OPWC round 36. for-
Lost you.
Dang.
Oh, microphone.
I can hear her say lost you too.
Away. What's that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh, okay. We submitted OPWC round 36, and that was for West Franklin from the dead end to Elm Street. So that's out there. Dollar General construction is progressing, as you guys, everybody probably sees it. It's almost complete. And the vet clinic, as far as we know, is still on hold. If it comes back, we have $500 for one of the site plan reviews still on hold there. And West Prospect Street Phase 2 construction is complete. Shoot, I think they're frozen. Oh, no, they're moving.
Okay.
Nobody was moving. Everybody was looking there.
Gene, did Dollar General change this color scheme on their building?
Well,
Well, it was darker.
Well, two things. One, I don't know, because I do know that it's gray right now, but to be honest with you, I don't look at the building. But I'm gonna say I thought it was like a brownish color, but chances are maybe it gets painted when they're done.
We're stuttering.
Okay. And he's frozen again. I had one question to ask him.
I can hear you,
I
Mayor.
hear you though, so go ahead and talk.
I can hear you.
So Gene, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, we had applied for OPWC Round 35 for Main Street and around the Glenwood Elm Street, or not Elm Street, Glenwood and Grand Elm. And we didn't get OPWC because we didn't score high enough, but we were applying for, what did I say earlier?
Round 35.
Pound 35 OWPC.
Right, we didn't get that, but we were still eligible for the loan.
The small government.
So now that the county has taken it over, has that gone away?
I do not have an answer for you. I will have to look
It
into
was
that.
like $247,000 to change the 4-inch water line, I think, to 6 or 8 inch around the loop there, around the block up across from the high school.
Okay. I don't know. I can find out.
Okay,
Oh, shoot. They just froze. Oh, dang.
Their video's freezing. It's on. You and I have been fine.
On the porch and it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, we
Okay,
look
go-
at our living room just 'cause from one end of the house to the other. and
The house is right below us, right here. Never had a bad connection.
yes,
Okay, I don't know if you heard me. I said that I will have to find out about that status of the Round 35, and because of Portage County taking over the system.
right. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Gene?
Nope.
Okay. Scott Weaver, Service and Planning.
I can't talk to that fast.
You don't
Service-
have to talk.
Yeah, right.
No, we got to make sure we're still on YouTube.
Service, we discussed finishing up Booker Park Phase 2, which I think you've all seen. Looks pretty nice. Park looks great. You guys have done a great job. We talked about Phase 3, but we haven't gotten the paperwork yet, which Gene just said. We talked at length about the crack ceiling. You have the quote or the paperwork. You can see our proposal and the footage, and we spent a lot of time discussing crack ceiling.
Where's the crack ceiling?
We are sealing cracks on every road in this
Oh,
village.
ceiling crack. I thought you meant crack ceiling.
Oh,
I was
no,
like-
crack ceiling.
I thought you were joking.
Crack ceiling.
With an S and not a C.
That's why I'm glad you asked, because I thought the same
Listen,
thing.
there was, you repaired some water damage in the police department, so that's.
Well, that was
is
in
done.
service.
That
Yeah,
is
we did,
completed.
yes.
Right.
We did
that's
complete
what-
that.
So this tells you how many lineal feet that we have to do, and we'll start that in the fall.
Yeah, so that was basically our service committee meeting. We went over just about everything that is on this list. I think we talked about all of it ad nauseum. All of it, yeah, we did. So planning, on the other hand, and we discussed Canada Road, but Canada Road's done, so it took 2 days and it's done, so. We didn't need to
Three.
discuss it.
Very happy.
We discussed it longer than it took to finish the road,
It's very
so,
nice.
yeah.
Yes.
So there
They
you
are
go.
very happy. to-
Hopefully we'll have another $40-some thousand to do another 1,600 feet
So
next year.
planning, we are still talking about chickens in the village.
And roosters.
And roosters, no roosters, as a matter of fact. Food trucks, we're gonna work on some legislation on food trucks in front of our July meeting. And Michelle's gonna get us some stuff. Sidewalks, we, some stuff, you got us some stuff.
We already have this stuff.
Oh, boy.
It's not us.
Publicize it that way.
Ron.
Right.
There they are. You good? Okay, go. All right, good. Thank you, Dean.
All right, sidewalks. We are going to attack the sidewalks in the next couple of weeks, and we're gonna put together a list in July, what we're gonna do. Everybody pick the area of the village. I'm gonna walk around, do my side of town, John's gonna do his. So, yeah, so we're gonna put together a list of sidewalks we want repaired. That's gonna be a huge project. And we had a bunch of meetings.
I'm the host for the fourth time tonight.
I think it's more than 4.
I was being gracious. I wish when they come back up, we would tell them, just keep talking, because I haven't shown that we've stopped live streaming. So even if they can't hear us, we can hear them, which means the public can hear them.
Yes.
So I think we've been okay.
Oh, here she goes.
Okay, Scott, my question is, you said you're gonna deal with sidewalks and stuff.
Yes.
When people have to do, like, I don't have one and I don't ever want one,
Yeah.
but if we have a sidewalk, do we pay for half of it and the village pays for half?
No,
No.
The village pays for it all?
no,
No, no, no.
the resident,
Residents- the
That's what I'm
res-
asking.
yeah, the
Property
residents-
owner.
The residents have to pay for it. The owner has to pay for it.
Okay,
But what we were trying to do is we're gonna make a list of the sidewalks, and then we're going to try to work with maybe a local contractor to give us quotes on doing sections of the village at a time.
okay, other question is trees, because half the problems with the sidewalks,
Correct.
when you walk in Manway, are tree roots coming up.
Mhm.
So who has to pay in order to get that tree cut down? Now
That's
now-
50-50.
When I was on council, it was 50-50.
Right, it still is.
It still
What
is.
about the stump grinding?
Stump grinding's included in that.
Right.
The last time I had to pay for sidewalk, they went around the tree like that, around the roots, and it cost me $200. But it wasn't, I did it because this woman didn't have the money to do it through just on Social Security. So I paid for it to get around that tree.
So, yeah, the trees still are 50/50.
Okay,
Okay.
I just wanted to check. I won't come next month.
No, that's,
Don't ask me too many questions.
No.
you're not, no, you're not, that's fine.
Could we make a project out of it where the residents that are willing to get their sidewalks, trees removed and ground, where we bid it out for that tree work to be done a certain time, so anybody who's in that project at that time?
would love
We-
to
we
try.
do get
We
quotes.
would love to try and do that, yeah.
We just
Right.
wanna make
And then
sure
we're
trees
also
are
going to say like if Ben had a sidewalk and he had 10 feet of sidewalk that needed done, and Scott down the street had 10 feet, we're gonna see if they'll give us a break and come all in one day and do
Okay.
The more the
Different.
merrier.
the more, the more,
The more the
hopefully.
merrier.
Right. I mean,
It's gonna take a while to get it all orchestrated.
Oh,
but-
But we want to try to use somebody. local,
Me either.
so- Right, I mean, if we can, that would be my preference. I would, you know. wanna
But
use
Stom's
somebody
only
local.
poor, they don't do,
No, I know, but we have plenty of contractors around the village or around the township.
Right.
You know, I would just like to use
sure,
somebody that we all know,
Okay.
somebody close.
That's
Okay.
even for the local tree things, if you need tree cut downs.
Right. So, okay, I'm done, I'm sorry.
okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Heather Paisley for safety.
Chief pretty much covered it. It was a very short and sweet meeting.
Okay. Marty Hura, Parks and Shade Tree.
Well, Mary Ann told you all about the parks. I have one question though. There are barrels up on the, behind Maniline where that tree fell.
Yes.
And even though it's not in danger of falling any farther, are the barrels gonna remain there?
No, if they didn't take care of that tree today, they should take care of it tomorrow, because we
I don't even know what number we're up to now. It's a good thing I'm muted because the dog just went crazy because another dog went walking down the road or somebody walked by my house. So he's being a real idiot anyway. We could have had this meeting over about 20 minutes ago.
Okay, are we live streamed again?
Yep.
All right, okay, go.
Okay,
For
hurry up,
shade-
Marty.
For shade tree, we're still looking into,
Replanting trees.
areas to plant trees.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, Mayor, cemetery, Cookie had told me that a tree had fallen on top of the mausoleum, or a limb was on top of the mausoleum. And so we took care of that. Everything seems to be going along with the KIA. We've raised enough funds to do that. We've ordered the KIA memorial. Dave has moved, getting ready to, I think, do footers up at the cemetery for this spring, summer quarter. And that's all on that. Board of Zoning Appeals, it seems like every time we turn around, we have another meeting. We have a meeting coming up next Wednesday, the 23rd. I think it's at 6 or 6:30 on an accessory building for a property on West High Street. And that's all I have. Tammy, finance.
Okay, so we went over all the finance stuff. The only other thing we just chatted about was Jenny's job. We discussed, Jenny, is she able to still work full-time? Do we need to look at, is she looking to retire at the end of the year? Do we appoint somebody at her salary for the following 2 years? Or do we take a part-time person, and then how do we do that? We discussed if Jenny was to go part-time, can she buy insurance? How are we gonna do all this? And then we also need to look at the legislation, because in the legislation, it also talks about water and sewer. So we need to amend that.
We just started discussing it, thinking about it, just chew on it a while, think about it. And we decided not to, act on it right now.
So I did ask Jenny for a list of her duties that she does, so we've got an idea if we're looking at a job description. And Jenny's also gonna get us some comparables around the area.
Do you need me to sit in the next finance meeting?
Yes.
When is it?
It's always the Wednesday before council.
Yeah,
Okay,
So I don't know
okay,
the
okay.
date,
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah, whatever. the way-
because I don't know if we'll have
Unless-
somebody
unless we have a
appointed by
special
then.
Council meeting and elect somebody between now and then, but yeah.
Okay,
It should be July 14th.
okay, perfect.
something's going on July 14th.
So that's,
Yeah,
And
finance
then
meeting,
The
Yeah.
clerk's duties, is
Something
that
else is
you?
going on. that
regional
day.
planning.
but then it's all Jenny.
No,
Okay.
So,
At
so anyway,
home.
we're gonna start discussing that, but we'll also need to look at legislation, but we decided not to change legislation yet
Okay,
until we know what we're doing,
Right.
but it will need to be amended.
okay, all right, I'm with you.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, Ben, regional planning.
The extension of time for a bunch of zoning ordinances in different places, and they're working on the subdivision regulations. That's all they talked, basically all they talked about was the subdivision regulations, and it's gonna take a while, so I'll let you know when they get it done.
Okay, any other business?
Yes, I have a question, so I don't forget. I want to talk about it. It's Joe.
Go ahead. Hello?
Unmuted, so he heard you.
Hello? Hey, it's Scott. I got a
I can hear
question
you.
for you. That siren that's, okay, the siren that's up on Reservoir that doesn't operate, do you think we need that siren? And if we do, if you feel that that's a safety concern, can we use COVID money to replace that?
I would
That is
have to
public
talk,
safety.
I would have to talk to the fire chief. I have to talk to Chief Rosa because he knows exactly what's wrong with that siren. I don't know, and I don't know how it's wired in. I don't know that much about that siren, but I can find out and I'll
Okay.
have an answer for the next safety meeting.
Okay, if you feel that we need it, I mean, if that's just, you know, if it's a perk we don't need, then we won't spend the money, but if it's a safety issue,
Then we should take it down.
then I
if
think
don't
we
need it.
should think about it.
We should remove it if we don't need it. That's
Right,
so it's not
right.
up there, not functional.
Well, and that was the discussion that the fire chief had when we went up and looked at the old radio tower at the reservoir. He said about just having them take it down. So,
Okay.
but I don't know the range of that siren versus the range of the one that we have outside the building now. I will
Okay.
have to find that out.
I would like to say as a resident on Reservoir, I've been in situations where I did not hear a siren. So I would like to see that it does get replaced.
Can you guys hear the news on Sunday? We can hear
If I'm inside my
Yeah.
house, I can't hear the
one
news
that's on
siren,
top of the Reservoir.
But when it's windy,
because I've remodeled the whole inside and insulated every wall,
And when
or
you're in school,
even the
you don't always
interior
hear
wall.
this one, but they will hear
You
that one.
can't hear that thing at my house.
I mean,
Well-
if you're in school, you don't always hear this one, but you will hear the one on top of Reservoir
Okay.
Drive, and those kids will
Okay.
know what to do.
All right,
And
And they also hear them on
Bowen Road,
they hear that one.
that, yeah.
The top, I'm pointing at Reservoir because we're over there.
Right. But the elementary school would hear that one.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
won't
and
hear
that's
this one.
that's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
the school up on Bowen. But if we can use the funds.
Ten by ten, and that's the problem, that is, it got a T, if it's 10 foot by
Okay.
10 foot T square, that is
Okay.
off the back of the reservoir property, is owned by LSFD.
Okay.
But
So-
we gave money to the fire department for COVID,
Yeah.
so we could,
If this new tranche of money is eligible to be used for that too, and we haven't really gotten to
Right,
the, into the
right.
weeds on.
That's why I wanted to ask it now, because I didn't want to forget about it. I wrote it down
And that's
Because
why
I
we
know
won't
you
hear
don't know.
the neighbors want things.
okay, well. here we
well,
go.
if the COVID money doesn't pay for it, then you need to go to the fire department.
I have to go to the fire department?
The residents would need to go to the fire department and say, we want this.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, because if they own the property, they own the siren.
No, but the consensus up there is that they want it fixed.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, fair enough.
Ever who's on the
Okay.
fire board might want to bring that up at the next fire board meeting.
That would've been nice.
listen.
thanks, chief.
Thanks, chief. There's nobody on the fire board. Or this- well, there is.
Maybe we should appoint the
I
chief
can't
on
make-
fire
I
board.
can't make the next meeting, and that's the 28th of June. I can't be there, so.
I will bring it up with the fire chief and I will have an answer by the next safety meeting.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Joe. Thank you.
And Scott, I need to talk to you at some point if I can get a hold of you tomorrow
Yeah,
or give me a call.
yeah, I'll call you
Okay, thanks.
one time.
But not on your cell phone in the village while you're driving.
Yeah, not in your
Yeah.
car.
Make sure you're not driving.
Okay. Okay, any
I'll
other
call you after
business?
work.
Anybody else have any other business?
I have a question that I didn't ask off my list.
Okay,
Jenny, how much does it cost to get a cemetery plot?
$220 for a resident and $440 for a non.
And does the vault go with the price of the thing?
No.
And how much is the vault?
The vault, you buy yourself from the funeral home or wherever you're.
Thank you. Thanks. Hey, you gotta know, you know?
I guess.
Even though I'm not gonna be buried, I need to know.
Okay. Any other business? I just have one quick thing, give you guys a heads up on. Mary Ann and I are gonna be meeting with the front end loader. We took it to Dean again. There's no sense in putting any money into it, so we're gonna do some comparable shopping and meet with a salesperson that we've been steered to that, and he also grew up in our community, so just so you know, at next service meeting, probably next safety meeting, and a front end loader would probably be something that the cemetery trust would deem as paying a portion of, so. Okay, anything else? No executive session? Ben?
Motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Pretty close to 8 o'clock, Ben, pretty close.
I don't care what they say, but
Wow.
you did your job today.
You earned
Gene,
your
that was
money.
painful.
You guys have a good evening and stay safe.
Maybe we'll be internet stars. Bye, everybody.
Actually signed,
Good night.
could sign legislation, but
It's in person.
we have to amend it.
No live streaming. Be here or miss out.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sure,
What happened with Matt? Why did he leave?
if you want to know the reason, you'll have to speak with Matt.
Okay, I left him a message. He did not call. Okay.